Welcome to Cisco Tech Beat, the podcast that explores the people and stories behind what inspires the newest innovation. I'm your host, AB, and I'm very thrilled to welcome Akshay Bhargava, VP of Product Management for AI and Software Platform. Akshay, welcome to Tech Beat.
Hey, thank you. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. And we got to see each other the other day for another shoot, so this is kind of like our second round.
Yeah, it's like round two. Yeah. Awesome.
Let's do it. Well, for this one, we're going to jump into AgenticOps, which I know is sort of like the big thing that Cisco is talking about these days. So
Yeah.
kind of want to pick your brain a little bit, specifically how it's transforming the way we do work. What are your thoughts on AgenticOps and why is Cisco sort of really deep in this?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I got to say, AgenticOps is a really, really big deal. And it's all about transforming how AI is transforming into this next era. You know, earlier AI was all about, you might go into ChatGPT, you ask a question, you get an answer. That's more like chatbot oriented.
Right.
Agentic is more about letting AI act. Instead of just respond, now it's acting on your behalf. It's doing operations, it's researching stuff, and it's executing things.
Right.
And, you know, there's a bunch of tools now that have become really, really popular. And people who are using them are seeing exponential productivity, you know, whether it's writing code, like if you use Claude Code or Codex,
Right.
or also like new tools like Moltbot, Claudebot, even Anthropic has like Cowork. So these tools are really powerful. Now, it brings me to what is AgenticOps. So that's agentic AI.
Right.
A good analogy is like, you know, like what DevOps was for cloud. DevOps was all about like helping you make sure your code is production ready for the cloud. Think of AgenticOps as very similar for AI. It's all about like helping AI be safe, be secure, be trustworthy so that people can deploy it with confidence.
I love that. That's such a great way to bring an analogy in because a lot of people understand the other side of things, but this is evolving in real time. So
yeah, it's changing fast. It's changing fast. And I mean, there's a lot of enthusiasm about agentic AI and more specifically, AgenticOps as an enabler for our customers to start using agentic AI because they need that trust. I mean, customers are saying, hey, don't just give me, I can't just take any AI. I need AI that I can trust, that my customers can trust. And AgenticOps is like that operating system and capabilities that lets our customers trust AI.
That's right.
So it's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the trust aspect to it because that's something that's really important to Cisco overall in terms of all of our technologies. How do we, we talk about ethical AI and, there are a lot of considerations there. How are we making sure that the AI solutions and technology that we give to our customers is trustworthy?
Yeah, it's such an important thing. And I think it's one that, frankly, we're very differentiated in Cisco in terms of how we're approaching this and how our customers are able to adopt it. So a key part of it is just recently, the other day I was in a executive symposium and I was chatting with the chief security officer, CVS Health. Now, CVS Health is one of North America's largest healthcare.
Absolutely.
And they see an opportunity. And so they've built AI for their end customers. And the value prop of that AI is so compelling because it reduces the cost of care. It provides a better experience for their users. So very powerful AI. But they needed a partner who could help them make sure that AI is going to be trustworthy and safe and secure and give them the right visibility, observability into that AI.
Right.
So they partnered with Cisco and they talked about how they're using Cisco's AI defense product to help them understand how their AI is performing,
right,
and understand if it's safe. And without getting too technical, there's a whole bunch of things that Cisco AI Defense does for them. Everything from the supply chain, which means understanding where that AI is sourced from, running something called validations to make sure like, hey, what are the vulnerabilities or potential risks that this AI has? And Cisco has developed some amazing frameworks that are industry leading on AI safety and security. So we have this massive framework that says, here's all the attacker intents.
Right.
Here's the 150 different kind of techniques or sub-techniques. And how is your AI, in terms of your application, your models, your agents, how is it performing against that?
Right.
That's the validation. And then in real time, we have guardrails to protect it. So you put this all together, and now you can see why customers like CVS are like, I need AI. And with Cisco AI Defense, I have trustworthy AI.
I love that. And I'll tell you what, I am a CVS customer, let you all know. So, I feel pretty confident now knowing that the company I work for is actually also helping keep CVS safe. So,
Yeah,
healthcare is
100%.
an industry where you really can't afford to have whether it's a hack or something else, supply chain.
Yeah.
People need their medications, they need that healthcare. So
Exactly. And of course, CVS Health is just one example. We have many customers like that, but I think it's a really good one because it's a regulated industry, just it's a Fortune 50 company. It's a really marquee name.
Yeah.
And I think it's one that is leaning in heavy into AI because they feel both the need from a competitive standpoint, and they also see the opportunity to help their customers.
I love that. I think that one of the challenges with AI is that you have to balance innovation with risk management.
Yeah.
So how do we do that? How do we maintain that balance while still kind of taking advantage of the incredible technology that is AI?
Yeah. It's such a pertinent question, especially right now, because, if you asked me this question maybe 10 years ago, there's kind of like this balance bar between like security on one side and speed of execution on the other. And you say, hey, which one do you want? And now the reality is the world has changed drastically. And waiting for AI to be safe and secure is too risky if you don't lean into AI. So the biggest risk that a company might be taking is not getting into AI fast enough. And so that is how the complete dynamics of the industry are changing. And why? You might say, okay, why is that? Well, it's because AI is moving so fast. It's such a transformative technology that if you're not using it and your competition is, you are falling behind right now.
Yeah.
The time is now. And the reason is it's not trying to be alarmist. It's just being realistic. Like if you're not moving now with AI, you're falling behind. And you're falling behind at an exponential clip.
Right.
So the reality is today, when you think about balancing innovation and risk, with AI, it's almost like you have to lean into AI. And what you need to do is lean into AI in a way that's also safe.
Right.
And so this is where having the right kind of partner, a technology partner, services partners are really, really important. And one of the things we're doing is we're helping our customers not only lean into AI and accelerate their innovation and their speed of innovation, but also do it in a way that's safe and fast. And that's where AI defense comes into play. I gave you that example earlier with CVS. And what's happening is right now I see three types of customers coming to us to talk about AI defense. The first is customers who say, I'm a business unit in a big company. I can't wait because if I wait, I'm falling behind and I might lose in the market. And then they're coming to us and say, hey, by the way, we already released this AI. Can you help make it safe and secure? And can we buy your software like today?
Right.
So that's one camp. It's real and it's happening. The other is there's customers who are, saying, hey, we want to make sure that all of our applications, I'm a platform team, I'm a security team. This is kind of like the CVS case. I want to make sure all of my apps are safe and secure. And I want to make this a best practice and incorporate AI defense into that. So that's another example. And then the third is, customers and service providers are saying, we want to make sure that we help our end customers be safe and secure, build the software with best practices, and we want to incorporate AI defense into their best practices. So we're seeing all three motions happening and happening fast, and we're definitely leaning in to help our customers. And nothing gives us more satisfaction than seeing our customers have safe and trustworthy AI out there.
Absolutely. And I want to just dial in a little bit more on that the fast aspect. Of course, your team is really at the heart of all these innovations with the AI, but is it still surprising to you on a daily basis just how quickly AI is evolving and how quickly you have to kind of keep up with it?
It is. And I'll tell you, just both on a personal level as well as professional. Like on a personal level, I love to just write code. I'm a software engineer by background, a computer scientist back in the day. And just seeing how these tools are changing and evolving is amazing. Like just before the holidays, I would use some of these vibe coding platforms and I would run into a few issues. It was still magical in many ways, but I was still running into issues. And then just 2 weeks ago, I built an app end to end. And I literally had zero issues. The software was able to build it end to end. I wrote the requirements clearly, and there were zero issues in the software development. I mean, this is mind blowing, like how good it is. And so that's kind of on the personal side, just kind of how I'm experimenting, playing with the technology. The other thing is on the professional side, we're drastically changing how we build software ourselves at Cisco. I mean, Cisco, we are leaning in big in terms of AI development, both in terms of capabilities for our customer, but also how we build software.
Yeah.
AI defense, and this was shared at the AI summit. Like, we had all these amazing builders of AI there, like Sam Altman from OpenAI and Jensen Huang and Matt Garman from the CEO of AWS. All these great builders were there. And one of the things that Jeetu shared on stage was that AI defense is one of the first products that is written 100%, that's going to be 100% written with Codex, which is OpenAI's code writing tool.
Right.
Which is pretty amazing. Because you think about AI defense, it's an enterprise grade product.
Right.
It is a cybersecurity product, and it's written 100% by AI. I mean, like, if you told someone that 5 years ago, they'd tell you that's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
And now it's real.
Wow, that's amazing. And of course, that also means, though, that even though it's able to do that, we still have guardrails in the terms of like having people be able to monitor that code making. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, well, if AI is building it, that's it. Aren't you worried about that? But there's a human element that I think people miss with regard to the AI conversation. Wouldn't you say?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And I'm so glad you brought this up because, a lot of times people will just hear me say that and say, oh, they just put a prompt in and they made the whole product. No, that's not the reality. The reality is there was a lot of thought and discipline on how you can get AI to write such a complex product that has a really complex system architecture and do so in a way that AI could write that code.
Right.
So we've invested a lot. And I mean, frankly, I think that's tremendous IP that Cisco has in terms of how we do spec-driven development, how we pressure test those specs, and how we get AI to test itself,
right,
to deploy itself. All of that is really IP in how you give the input to AI so that AI can be successful.
Right.
Because if you don't have all that hard work up front and all of that rigor, then AI will not be able to build you a secure, reliable, performant kind of product.
Absolutely.
So that's really the IP up front is in that process. But the beautiful thing is once you do that, you can literally say, okay, AI, here's the spec-driven development. Here's all the details. Go.
Yeah. Love that. I love that. And, it's core to how we at Cisco overall think about AI, which is really, it's a tool that is used in conjunction with human capability. And it's really there to help you do your work better as opposed to just doing it by itself. I want to go back to the AI summit, which was greatly successful for us and for our partners and our competitors. And this is where I'm kind of going. It's really important, I think, that we do work with customers, partners, and other companies that would be considered competitors to sort of advance our technologies. What are your thoughts on that in terms of the importance of working with even competitors to really achieve the same common goal?
Yeah, I think look, the ecosystem matters a lot, and being a leader in AI, having the right mindset and openness and platform orientation is critical.
Right.
Look, no one's going to solve the AI. There's no one company who's going to solve all of AI all by themselves.
Right.
And especially not when you think about it with the end goal of helping every enterprise, every organization achieve optimal AI.
Right.
So I think it's really important to think about the ecosystem. And at Cisco, we're doing things that are, really, really forward thinking and leaning into the ecosystem and partners and even competitors and as part of the ecosystem.
Right.
So a few examples I'll give you. One is, of course, you mentioned AI Summit. AI Summit is bringing together builders, the greatest builders of AI. And that was a phenomenal show. The other thing that we're doing is we're leaning in to open standards. And so one of the things we're doing is, I talked about it earlier, but we have the AI safety and security framework.
Uh-huh.
We've built that at Cisco. We have our AI research team that invested heavily in researching and thinking about the holistic set and building the most comprehensive AI safety and security definition. And now we've given it to the public. We've made it open source. It's out there. We've let testing organizations like Nest, OWASP, and others leverage it. And we've also built it into our own products, but more importantly, we've opened it up. So that's an example of open standards helping the whole community, because we want everyone to have, safe and secure AI software. Right. And the best way to do that is to have a common nomenclature, have a deep understanding of the different types of threats, whether it's, multi-turn or, or single-turn type of attacks or prompt injections. Understand that holistically. The third example that I'll give you is that as we're building a lot of our products, including products like AI Canvas, AI Canvas is a magical product that brings together the central management for all of AgenticOps in a single place. And it's built with AI. It's built to be multiplayer, and it has generative UI in it. So you could literally say, hey, tell me what's wrong with my network, and it draws you a network diagram and pinpoints where the problem is and recommends a fix and say, do you want me to fix it? That is a product that is so powerful when you bring together not only the Cisco portfolio products, but also bringing in the ecosystem of products that customers have in their environment.
That's right.
And the third piece is, don't forget, customers. We have some of the smartest customers and best customers in the world. They have IP too. They have remarkable IP. And so also being able to let our customers not only bring in the tools they use, but also bring in the knowledge and skills that they have and bring it all into this one beautiful canvas where they can solve the problems that matter to them or ask AI any problem that matters to them about infrastructure data center. So yes, we're leaning hard into the ecosystem, and hopefully I gave you 3 different examples of how we're doing that.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it also just underscores the importance of making sure that the customer is happy, because ultimately we want the customer to have not only just great experiences, but simplified user experiences.
Yes, exactly. We want them to have simplified experiences. We want them to be able to harness the power of AI and do so quickly. And most importantly, we want them to be able to do that in a safe and secure and trustworthy way where they feel comfortable with it and they can make their end customers comfortable with AI.
Absolutely. While we're on the customer topic, what would you say to customers? What advice would you give to those who are kind of in the beginning of their AI journey and are looking to adopt more AI within their infrastructure or just need AI solutions for their business outcomes?
Yes. The first thing I would say is congratulations, because that's exactly the most important question you probably need to be asking your company today to have success over the next 5 years, 10 years, and beyond. So congrats, you need to be on this journey. Number 2, yes, you need to lean in, but let's do it thoughtfully. And let's help you put together a plan to do it thoughtfully. There's kind of 2 dimensions to this that I would encourage customers to think about. The first is just understanding that AI is also a journey. AI is iterative, AI is changing, and also your understanding of how you adopt and use AI and how you build your own skills is going to grow and increase over time. So the most important thing is to get started. It's kind of like, you go to a gym and, people make lots of New Year's resolutions. They, hey, I'm going to go to gym. I'm going to be so strong. I'm going to be so healthy. But the most important thing is actually first to start.
Just go there.
Just go to gym, like drive there, go in the door and do something.
Right.
And then the first day, first week, you do something, and then it starts to become natural. It starts to become a habit. You start to learn, like, yeah, I can work out every day. It's part of my habit. And then slowly, you start to build that skill. And now you say, okay, going to the gym is after week 1 or 2. Hey, I can do more than not just go to the gym. I can start to get better and more proficient at certain aspects.
Right.
And now I can do, I can lift more. I can run longer, or whatever your criteria is. AI is the same way. It's like a muscle in the organization. You got to first start leaning in, and then you got to start understanding what are all of the parameters. And there's new parameters coming in, new tools, new capabilities, new skills, and you got to learn how to work with those. So that's one dimension. You start iterating and have a growth mindset with it. The other aspect is you understand that there's certain capabilities of AI, whether it's, prompt response or agentic AI, or moving towards human in the loop, and then eventually moving to, guided autonomy and full autonomy. So there's kind of a spectrum of even the AI, how much control you give to AI. As you get more comfort, you can move down this continuum.
That's right.
The third thing that I would recommend customers is make sure that you have the right guardrails and validations as you go through this process. So in case you make mistakes with AI, they're not detrimental. You have the guardrails to protect you. Use a product like AI Defense. It will help you. And then the last thing that I would say is that understand, like, what are the customer problems, business problems that you are trying to solve, and make sure that whatever you do with your AI experimentation, you lean in deep into solving a product or a problem meaningfully.
Yeah.
Right? Like some people will say, oh, let me automate one step of this process. Well, automating one step of a process is not that valuable if the next step needs a human to review it. Now you just create a bigger backlog
Yeah,
for
right.
the human to review.
Right.
So think of an end-to-end process that you could fully automate so that you can start to understand and have a visceral feel for the power of AI when you let it automate something holistically.
Yeah.
So pick a customer problem, automate it end to end.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that last point, they're all incredibly important. So thanks for sharing your insights on that. That last point is something I've heard other leaders talk about, which is don't just get AI for the sake of AI because it's something to get. You need to really think about, the why you need AI is so much more important than, oh, I just want to have it.
Right.
So
Exactly. And I think like I see sometimes people, do these mini experiments. Oh, AI is not that useful. Actually, no, AI is incredibly useful. But the problem is you may not have structured your experiment in a way where you're allowing AI to flex its muscles to do all the things that it can.
that's right.
And so that's why picking the right customer problem and use case is also important,
Yeah.
especially when you're getting started. It's one of these things when you see the power and magic of it happening, then you want to lean in to use it. You'll be like, oh, now I can think of 10 more places I can use it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think you might be alluding to this, but we see this in just our everyday personal use of AI. I mean, it's whatever you put into it, it's going to give you back more and it's going to kind of grow with you. So it's a great thing.
Exactly.
Love it. So clearly, AgenticOps is redefining enterprise automation, and I'm sure there are some incredible use cases that you could give us now. I'd actually love to hear your take on some of the best use cases for it now, but then when you think 10 years into the future, what possibilities do you see when it comes to AI and AgenticOps and all of that technology?
Amazing. I was just listening recently, at Davos. They had a very similar question, like, when is AGI coming? Like, and they had the expert Demis, who's the head of Google DeepMind and the founder of Anthropic, and
Oh, yes.
and they're giving their point of view on like when is AGI coming and what's the future? Is it 5 years, 10 years, 3 years? And it's magical just to think about how the possibility of how AI could have not only regular and human intelligence, but even a step beyond it, right? It's pretty amazing to think about that. But when I bring it back to it, yes, and some people say 3 years, 5 years, some people say 10 years.
Right.
The reality is, when I bring it back and I talk to customers, I say, guess what? Whether AGI happens or not, you have the possibility to transform your business right here, right now, with the technology that's there. So yes, we can speculate about the future. And by the way, the future is only going to get brighter. The famous saying is that the AI that you're using today is the worst AI you're going to ever use in the future.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So AI is always getting better.
Right.
So that's kind of the power of AI. At the same time, if you want to get business impact, the AI tools are there for you to exponentially get better at your business right here, right now.
Right.
And some of the type of use cases that I'm talking to customers actively about, span a variety of areas. If, AgenticOps can be relevant to you if you're doing security operations, right? Like AI Canvas being integrated into all of the Cisco security products and being able to say, hey, you get an alert that, hey, there's some suspicious activity happening. And AI will automatically do all the research for you to figure out, is that suspicious activity worth investigating?
Right.
What's the root cause of it? Oh, it looks like I've detected this laptop has, C2 server activity and communication that's happening. And then giving you a recommendation that, oh, I've checked with Talos and it is legit that is a real, a real threat and a known threat. And then coming back and saying, I recommend you contain that endpoint right away.
Right.
And then, do you want to continue? You say, yes,
Yeah.
I need to. So yes, and it'll go and contain it right away for you.
Right.
Then it'll say, by the way, do you want to take a look at like how this happened in the first place so we fix it so this issue never happens again? And you say, yes,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to make sure it never happens again. Then it'll say, okay, here's a recommendation plan. I looked at all your firewall logs. I looked at all this. Some of your settings are opening your security permissions too wide. I recommend let's tailor it just to the people who need it.
Right.
Should we do that? Yes. And then I say, okay, I'll do it. And they'll say, hey, congrats, we're all done. We fix this issue and we'll make sure this issue never happens again. That's an example of security operation. IT operations, amazing automation opportunities. Hey, customer filed this ticket, automatically respond to that issue, file it in the system, respond to the customer, fix the issue, close the ticket. Amazing. We already talked about a lot of the phenomenal use cases in software development.
Yeah, right.
Right? Not just building software, but how to test software, how to deploy software. So, I feel like there are so many use cases. I could go on and on.
Sure.
But the reality is that if you go and talk to a customer, and this is why the enthusiasm is so much about AI, is you could pick any part of the business, you could pick any, any business process, and there's opportunity to make impact. You can pick any customer-facing experience. There's opportunity that AI can transform that.
Yeah.
So that's how pervasive and how compelling AI is. And I think to the other aspect of like, where do you see AI, down the road? I feel like today we talk a lot about AI, and we talk about AI in kind of a singular term. Artificial intelligence. It's a singular thing. But actually AI is going to become so pervasive. It is going to move from not just being in an interactive form, in agentic and automation. It's going to become in physical AI. Right? Every robot, every machine, every satellite, data centers in space will have AI. There's going to be this place where AI is going to be proliferated. And even AI, when we talk about agentic AI, if you have agentic AI, like I built an app recently, it has 20 agents. Now, am I going to say that it has 20 AIs? Well, actually, technically, each one of those agents has a purpose. One's an orchestrator, one's a scouting agent,
Right.
one like looks at blogs, one, correlates, interesting tidbits together.
Right.
So each of them is like their own AI. So AI will proliferate. It'll become very, very widespread. And I think we're going to talk about AI as just a part of everything. It's just a component of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the future we're very quickly heading towards. And it's so exciting. And at Cisco, we could not be more thrilled to be part of this journey, and not only be part of it, but leading this journey and helping our customers lean in and get the maximum impact out of AI and do it in a safe and reliable and secure way.
Oh, yeah. And I love that outlook. You explained it so well. It's almost kind of like the internet. It's like when it first came out, World Wide Web. Oh, check the World Wide Web. Now we just go online. Like now, nobody really references the World Wide Web anymore. But no, that's a great way to look at it, both in present day perspectives as well as looking to the future. So let's step away from work really quickly, because I want to close out with more of a non-work topic. When you're not busy, and I know you're really busy, and you're kind of like you have time to yourself. You're not at work. You want to find your Zen moment. You want to just take a load off. What are some activities or hobbies that you find joy in participating in?
Some of the things that I have a lot of, I got 2 boys. We love sports. We do a lot of sports. And, I'll tell you one thing that's very interesting, how AI has changed some of my habits. I was getting on the plane, and before I left the plane, I had to say, okay, AI, while I'm on this plane, can you please build these enhancements to my app? And so that way, by the time I get off the plane, I know that AI's done all my work for me, right? Or AI, hey, prep, I got this customer meeting, prep for this meeting so that by the time I land, I know I'm ready to go. And it's kind of funny because a lot of times when I go with my kids, we'll go play something. I'll be like, hey guys, give me just 2 minutes. Let me just tell AI a few things to do so that I know AI is working while I'm playing outside.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's part of how I think AI has become intertwined in my life and my hobbies. It's like, it's not something, it's like even when I go to do a hobby, it's like before I leave to go my hobby, I'm like, AI, I want to make sure you're working while I'm having fun. Make sure you're doing my work.
Oh yeah, that's like the perfect use case for AI, because you're still using your own proprietary thoughts, but someone's doing the heavy lifting, and you can enjoy your family time.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing I love the most. Family time, spending time with boys. We play a lot of basketball. My boys like to swim. They like soccer. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at soccer, so I feel like I'm also learning soccer as an adult now. But yeah, those are some things I love to do.
I love that. Well, that is, I think, a perfect place to bring the conversation to a close. Akshay, thank you so much. This has been such a pleasure. I think it's been really great for anybody out there listening who doesn't really know a whole lot about AI, or those who do, just to kind of get a perspective on Cisco's approach to AI, why it's such an exciting time to be part of this revolution. And I just want to thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I think the more that we get the word out about AI, the more people learn. And I think the thing that I would say is lean in. Get started today. If you're not using some of these AI tools, if you're at Cisco, if you're at one of our customers, start today. Start using tools like Claude Code, Codex, use them today. And if you're a customer or if you're in a large organization, think about how you can use AI with trust and safety in mind. And Cisco is here as your partner. We can help you. We have tools like AI Defense that can help you on this journey, get jump started, and make sure that you get to a successful outcome very quickly.
Love it. Thanks so much.
Hey, thank you.
All right.